When you see all these brouhaha happening in our country, when you see flooding everywhere, when you see poor sanitation, when you see food insecurity, crime rate, everything, you begin to ask yourself, what is wrong with us? Welcome to this channel. Today in this video, we are going to talk about a very important issue, and it's the issue of our education. Now, in my previous video, I talked about the definition of education, and I said that education is the process of socializing people to acquire knowledge in order to live meaningfully in the society. So with this, from an economics point of view, after you are educated, what is your value? What value do you add to the market? What value do you bring to your community? What value do you bring to your region? What value do you bring to your district? What value do you bring to your country? So we have all this bunch of educated people in this country, which I am part of. So the question that we are asking ourselves is that apart from remembering things, apart from remembering the part of the mouse or the keyboard, all these QWERTY things that we've learned, apart from remembering the part of trees, apart from remembering the part of mosquitoes, what else can you do to solve the problems that we see in this country? And that's where our education has a problem. It teaches us to learn, to remember. I won't say even learn. It teaches us to remember. It teaches us to be literate. It teaches us to read. It teaches us to cram. It teaches us to do all these things. It doesn't teach us about critical thinking and problem solving. Let me take a typical Ghanaian student, for example. There's this tree proverb which says that "Agrobe da ifranopa," which means that the earlier the better. Now, they learn mathematics. Mathematics is very important when they understand and have passion for mathematics. It teaches you about critical thinking and reasoning. They learn about science. Science is very important because you experiment and you observe and those kind of things, and you solve problems when you're doing science. So when taught well, teaching these students about science and math is very important. And social studies teaches you about your environment and how you are connected and why your presence is important and what you can do. What's your value about after learning all these math and science? What's your value to the environment? And that's what social studies, when taught well, should teach the children. We'll talk about BDT, basic design and technology. So this is about catering and PreTech. I think they have home economics and pre-technical skills. So home economics teach students about how they can cook well, they can do a whole lot of, I think, sewing and all those kind of things. You need all these kind of catering tools and those kind of things. They are exposed to these kind of things. PreTech teaches students how to be able to use their technical skills to solve problems. So when I was doing PreTech, I remember we were having this topic which was called design thinking, where we see a problem and then we think about how to solve the problem and we design artifact or something. I've forgotten about the vocabularies there. I told you earlier on that our education system is about remembrance, because after learning it was only about theory. I didn't really do it practical, so I've forgotten about it as usual. Now, these are the major things that is important in our education system. Forget about RME. What is RME? Religious and moral education. Listen, learning about Muhammad back then didn't change me from being a Christian to being a Muslim. No, it didn't change me. And I know a lot of Muslims who also didn't, or who were also not changed from being Muslims to what? To Christians. Why am I saying this? Let me show you a curriculum. So, before you can know that your education system is bad, you want to compare it to elsewhere. So I did a very good research and then I found this curriculum. Now when you read this curriculum, the keywords are critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning abilities, how to argue well, how to speak and defend yourself. These are the major keywords. And so this is a curriculum for class 5 students, grade 5, what we call class 5 in our country. and you see how they are training their kids, because they know that in the presence of AI, being able to remember things is not enough as a 21st century learner, but that AI can do better. So they want to train their children so that they can become problem solvers. And so if our education system is good, then we wouldn't be having sanitation problem, because these people will be trained in a way that can help them solve these kind of problems. If you let children pass through a system which you call to be education, after passing through this education system cannot solve their own immediate problems, then you have to question the education system. And so these are my suggestions. Education system is failing us. And now you see flooding, you see poor sanitation. The sanitation is causing flooding, and flooding is causing people to lose their property. And that's what we call chain reaction. Something gets bad, another thing gets bad because of the thing that has gotten bad, and it becomes, should I say baddest, even though it's not correct English. But listen, let me tell you how a typical education system should be. That when you come to Ashanti region, we have problems with sanitation. So we go to these pre-technical students who are in our SHS, who are in our universities, who are in our junior high schools. And part of the assessment, we give them a project. Design a dustbin for your community. Design a sitting table or a sitting chair for a group of 5 for your community. Design this and that for your community. And the government is willing to fund all these projects so that maybe every junior high school is having money which is allocated for all these projects. Every senior high school is having money allocated for all these projects. Every technical university is having money which is allocated for all these projects. Today we may do dustbin which is made of wood. The next day it will be made of metal. The next day it will be a dustbin that can open by itself. The next day it can be a dustbin that can talk to people and tell them that this rubbish that you have put into this dustbin, it doesn't deserve to be here. It deserves to be in the let's say in the paper or the plastic or this side. We start from somewhere and we get to somewhere, but we never get somewhere unless we start. So this is what a typical education system should be: seeing the problem, designing a curriculum, designing an instruction to students to be able to solve these problems. It's very important. We don't have to be learning about trees and their barks and photosynthesis when we are having flooding problems. We don't have to be learning about Microsoft interface, Microsoft Word interface, when we've never even typed a letter before. We should look at the problems that we are having in our various regions, our various communities, and those kind of things, and design a curriculum for individual, because we have individual problems in this country. Each region is having its own problem. So there should be this course that is designed to tackle the problems that those people are having. It should be this course, a flexible course that is designed for every region to solve its own problem. And it should be practical. It should be practical. Thank you for watching this video. Want you to subscribe, leave a comment, do all these things that you don't want you to do. Subscribe. You refuse to think.